Sometimes you just need a vent. Sometimes you realize that we're just human and you just need to talk to somebody. Everyone's got a complicated life, at least I'd like to feel like, unless you're like a millionaire or something and you just don't have to work. Personally, I love my job and the people I work with, and I've been making good money. Like over the last 2 weeks, I made $911 and I worked my butt off and I enjoyed it. It's those days like Valentine's Day that really kick me in the fucking nuts. Like, I love my son, I love getting to see him. But for most of us, maybe not all, but most of us, a good amount of us miss the person that we had a kid with if we're no longer dating them. And that doesn't mean that you can't be friends and see your kid with them and still treat them nice. But it sucks when you have to let go and just accept that you're jealous. And you have to do that because it's the right thing to do for your son or daughter or whatever. For me, it's my son. It's the right thing to do for my son. About a year ago, my brother passed away, and that was pretty much my best friend. Like, my go-to guy that if, I had something to talk about, that's who I talked to. So, like, I'd wake up every morning, and that's the first person I would talk to was my brother, and we'd watch TV or go drive somewhere or something if I didn't have, like, work at that time. My brother was, like, one of the rare few people that cared about my well-being. And now that I can't really talk to him, it's just feels lonely because that person actually knew me. Like, actually knew who I was. He knew my goals, what I wanted in life, all that. And what a lot of y'all don't know is I grew up in a family with millionaires and stuff in it. We were not really super poor except for one point in my life when my dad was working his way up. That's the only time we were actually really poor. But my grandfather is a millionaire. He straight up just bought my dad a house in Centerton before my dad moved. Just bought him a house. Bought him a house in another city now. Just bought it for him. Hands down. Because my grandfather worked his ass off. And my dad, he hits me up and he helps me out sometimes. And we get things done on my truck or have my mechanic work on it and we bond over that. And he gets to see my son, and he's happy that he gets to see my son, and that's one of the few things that I really wanted to give my dad when my brother died, is a whole lot of time to actually spend time with my son. And for those of you who don't know, my son's mom, when me and her broke it off for a while, got with my biological brother, and me and my brother got into a fight over that. And when we got into that fight, my brother called the cops, and I went to jail. And prior to that, my brother, I knew that if me and my brother actually fought and I was truly trying to fight him, that I would have won no matter what. So when me and him fought, I really wasn't seriously trying to hurt him. That's what a lot of people don't know. The police didn't know that. So, went to jail over that for a little over 3 months. And I'm sitting in there wondering every day, like, you know, why hasn't my brother responded? Because they told me in court that they were waiting on my brother's response. I don't think my brother wanted to testify against me. And I say that because y'all don't understand how close me and my brother were. And then I got out of jail, thought things were okay because my son's mom basically got back with me to some degree for like almost a month or maybe a month-ish. And then ended up leaving for somebody else. And it's like, whatever with all that. But she told me that she had gotten pregnant when I was in jail with my brother's kid and got an abortion. And that's the reason my brother shot himself. And y'all don't understand how unbelievably bad I feel about that. Because my brother, honestly, was a better person than me and deserved to live a whole lot more than I do. But that's the thing is, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to hurt people or anything like that. Sometimes I get upset or angry or whatever, and there's like that temporary thought where like there's an intrusive thought trying to mess with you, but you know in your heart that that's not you. And I know that I'm not a violent person. I'm a very calm person. I know the difference between thoughts and actions. And like I said, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to hurt people. But sometimes, I'm going to be real with you, sometimes I'm just not okay. And, that doesn't mean that I want to hurt anyone. That doesn't mean that I want to hurt myself. Sometimes existence is so crippling. And like growing up, I was always taught to defend myself and stuff. I'm partially deaf in my left ear, and I grew up on an IEP in school. And I had to take special education classes for certain things because of my ear. And then I was also born club-footed, so one of my feet is like deformed. It's messed up. Okay? I'm gonna be real. It's messed up. It ain't normal. I remembered always getting picked either last or within one of the 3 last people when we were kids for anything, whether it was football, something at school, didn't matter. And then all throughout middle school, I always got picked on and bullied because of physical appearance, whether it was me being fat, people thinking I was emo, me having my foot issue, me having a bad time hearing people sometimes in my left ear. And y'all wonder why I don't wear a hearing aid. I got bullied so badly for wearing a hearing aid that I did not want to wear it. Then I work at places like KFC. People just tell me shit like they don't believe that I'm partially deaf. Like, I can tell you what schools I went to so you can confirm that I am fucking partially deaf. The jail here did not believe that I had bipolar disorder, and when I was a child, there was a point where I was on a medication that they had, and I chose to use medical marijuana over that because it worked better for me. But that medication was Zyprexa. Benton County Jail told me they didn't believe I was bipolar when I was literally diagnosed by a doctor named Dr. Omni in Colorado. Straight up refused to give me the medication even though they said that they had it on their list, and then kept trying to give me different shit. Trying to use me as a guinea pig. Like I don't fucking think like anything about it. I did. I knew exactly what you guys were doing. And the fucked up thing is, when I left jail, and my son's mom got with the new dude she'd been with, I ate every single fucking pill that they sent me on my merry way with from the jail. Like, straight up ate it all and tried to kill myself. But that wasn't recent, and I'm not suicidal, but that was like about almost, I would say almost a year ago at this point. So that was a really long time ago. And then there was one misunderstanding that I had happened to me in Tulsa. And when I went to jail for that, which I wasn't charged with that, I was charged with something totally different later on. Anyhow, I had a guard literally lie. We asked for our rec timeout, and this is during COVID. We're asking for our rec timeout, and this guy literally says, "Oh no, you're gonna flood your cell," and we did not say that. Me and my cellie said, when are we going to get out of our cell? Like, when are we going to get rec? We kept rephrasing it in a way that was so much different than what that guard was trying to say. Oh, you're going to flood your cell? That guard kept saying that, and like, he was hinting at he's just going to lie to the other guards. And my cellie was like, man, fuck that guy. Just walk away from the window. He ain't going to do shit. He's just going to fucking try to fuck us over. So might as well ignore him. Another form of bullying. And when you are incarcerated, there's not shit you can really do about it. Then you get people like Ogden, which is a CO that tried to intimidate people when I was in BCSO. You would try to punch boxes in front of me when I'm in the fucking hallway, trying to act all crazy. Like, come on, bro. came in D154 one time with his hand on his taser and said, "I want to tase somebody today." Like, all I'm wondering is, where the fuck can I go where I could feel like I'm not going to be harassed or bullied or manipulated or used? Like, where the fuck can I go, bro? Like, I'm just being honest here. And I'll be real, I missed the home state I'm from. There was a whole lot more shit to do. The police were cool as fuck to me for some reason. Unlike here, they were actually cool to me. They actually obeyed the law. I never had a single problem with police growing up, really. And any time that I did, I knew that it was my fault, and I took responsibility for the things I did, and I handled it. My biggest issue is, since I've moved to Arkansas from Colorado, I have felt targeted and harassed. It all started when I was a passenger in the back seat of one of my friend's cars. They had a brand new car, like literally bought it off the dealership. When everyone got out of the car, because we were asked to, the cop lied and tried to say he saw some shake on the floorboard, but there was no shake. It was a brand new car. He was lying. And the funniest shit about it is, even the dude that was driving was all like, "Go ahead, send it to the lab. It's not going to show up as anything illegal." But realistically, there was nothing on the floorboard anyway. I'm just being real. Well, I probably shouldn't have gave my ID because I didn't break any laws. But I gave him it just to make things go fast. Well, guess what? Because I was from Colorado, this Centerton cop tried to ask me if I had any weed. Like, that's profiling. How are you going to ask somebody just because they have a fucking ID from Colorado if they have weed? That's fucking retarded. And after that, I got pulled over riding my bike home from Waffle House. And I had my Waffle House uniform. Same cop, too. Dude wanted to ask where I was coming from when I'm wearing a fucking Waffle House uniform. Like, come on, genius. Like, if this was a game show and you had to guess. Bro didn't even trust just letting me go and riding home, even though I didn't break any laws and he illegally detained me in the first place. Bro followed me all the way home to Scotland Drive in Morningside in Centerton. All the way home, and he followed me from like C Street. We're very close to it. Actually, now that I think about it, it was Sun Meadow Drive. As the years went on, I kept getting gang stalked. And when I was talking about the whole ID thing from Colorado, there was no actual reason for him to ask me that question. And later on, I did get a medical marijuana card in the state of Arkansas and legally smoke weed. So, I mean, but I'm physically disabled and I have PTSD. I got shot when I was like 21 in 2019. So God forbid that I just want to feel a little bit of comfort in this life. And it's crazy, man. My teachers always said, you know, be the change you want to see. That's all I have tried to be here. And the funniest part about it is, originally I wasn't doing it in the way that I am now. I always just tried to be myself. Just a normal person. Where I'm from, everything that I do is just normal. That's why I call this the divided states of America, because it ain't very united if you think about it. So as I try to save up for a place, I got what, $400 towards that, aside from money for bills and stuff. $400 towards the apartment or whatever. And I gotta deal with motherfuckers in a police uniform acting like a gang, stalking me, following me all around. Like, come on, buddy. Like, leave me alone. And I know not all of y'all motherfuckers are bad, because I've had a good one do something before that was beneficial, and it wasn't like I called him or anything. When I say it was beneficial, I was at McDonald's, working at McDonald's. The cop overheard the guy cussing me out. The guy was cussing me out because we didn't have a freaking item on the menu anymore that he really liked. And the cop goes, like, basically telling me, like, well, he has expired tags. You want me to pull him over? And I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I said, yeah. I just thought it would be funny. Well, the cop really pulled him over. That's aside the fact. That's a cool cop. And realistically, he got pulled over for the expired tag, not cussing me out and all that. Because the way that he was being hostile towards me, I believe it probably at least could have been looked at as like disturbing the peace. But I'm like, where have all the good ones gone? Like, wished I at least knew that one's name so I could give him some credit for being a good cop. No, not all of y'all are bad. But I'll never understand why my channel has been such a problem for the police here. Accountability should be expected. You guys are law enforcement. It's really not hard to obey the law. That's why I just don't get it. I've lived in multiple states, and this is the only one where you guys choose to go out of your way to do crazy shit. Like, why does nobody use their turn signal? It's as simple as just hitting that switch. I could do it with one hand. Like, I'm sorry I don't like corruption. I'm sorry that I saw bad things going on and I wanted to change it so people didn't have to deal with that. I'm sorry that I've brought it to the judge's attention, in court even, that this type of stuff was going on. I'm sorry that my proof of you guys breaking the law makes you mad at me and not yourselves for not obeying the law in the first place. Why am I sorry? Because you guys don't have the understanding, the empathy to see why what you're doing is such a problem. I'm not saying y'all are bad people for not using a turn signal one time. I'm saying, how do you sleep at night knowing that you extort a mother or something that would have put food in their kid's mouth over the same thing that you do often or every day? How would you feel comfortable with that, dude? I couldn't have that in my soul, going to sleep knowing if I did something like that if I was a cop. So it beats me how anyone can. So the truth is that I'm not scared. I'm annoyed as fuck. Like, everybody is. I promise you, none of the hate I ever direct at you guys. If you guys get any hate, it's because of the actions recorded in the video, the decisions that you guys made. Not me. Why are you hating me? Just because my camera got it? So did yours. Your body cam, dash cam. I proved that when my Freedom of Information Act requested the badge number 928, the traffic units footage. Yeah. So, like, I work almost every day. The least y'all can let me do is make a damn video if I feel like it, recording in public, and if it has a cop breaking the law on it, the least y'all could do is just not get mad at me. Either get mad at that cop or maybe tell him to use a turn signal or whatever you did wrong, like, because you are the example for kids and other people around here. You are the example for them. The leader, you have a leadership role and you need to lead properly so these kids don't think the types of things that I see are normal. They're not. You know, I'm just being real. I'm human. I go through days where I don't want to exist. That doesn't mean I'm suicidal. Or even in the past when I did have suicidal thoughts, doesn't really mean I acted on them. But I exist for my son right now. That's the biggest thing. So one thing that when I feel not okay, I tell myself, well, feel okay for your son. Do whatever you got to do to feel okay for your son. And that's how I snap right the fuck out of it. My teachers and stuff and other people I went to school with, adults and stuff, always told me I was really good at poetry and making music. So, like, I'm also sorry that that's something that I like and I commit to, but, you know, that's me just trying to have fun. I've always liked art and wanted to make some form of it. Heck, it might sound strange, but even my truck, a lot of people might be like, oh, you're poor, you wanted a 99 Suburban. I'm like, no, I bought this truck specifically because when I was a kid, my dad had this type of truck. I wanted to be like my dad, and, you know, I want to set an example and be better. Because, like, one day there might be a time where my kid wants to be like me, and, you know, as the person I am right now, I'm not comfortable with that. I need to do better, be better, before I could ever feel comfortable with my son saying something like that to me. I mean well. I try to stay positive, and you should too. But the real truth in 2026 is I'm just trying to be okay, just like all y'all.